303-477-5600. That's 303-477-5600. On the air since 1994, Keith and his guests have been answering your questions about gardening in the high-altitude desert of the Colorado Front Range. And now, here's your host, Keith Funk, the Garden Wise Guy.
Soil moist granules are a non-toxic.
Okay, that was not me. But good morning, everybody. You are listening to the Garden Wise Show. My name is Keith Funk. I'm going to be your host today until 9 o'clock, answering your gardening questions, along with my lovely and talented guest host, Luan Akin from Tagawa Gardens. Good morning, Luan.
Howdy do to you.
Oh, are we doing rhyming today?
Give me a chance. I'll do my best.
Okay, all right. So the way this works, as always, is that we're here to answer your gardening questions. And I would love it if you would give us a call at 303-477-2473. That's 477-2473 is the telephone number to call and ask us questions. Now, you can also, if you're a little too bashful and you don't want to call in, but you have a gardening question, you can also text us on your phone or computer.
But we're so nice.
We are very nice.
They shouldn't have to be shy.
You shouldn't, no. But the text
Bloody
number...
Mary. Right?
Have a mimosa.
Yeah.
The text number is 303-477-5600. 303-477-5600 is the number you can text us. And the cool thing about texting is you can include a picture. And one picture. At a time. If you need to send more pictures than one to get your message across, send them separately. You'll have to send multiple text messages, but we can tell how they're connected, so no worries there. And if you're watching on Facebook Live right now, you can watch the show with Luan and myself, and you can put your questions right there in the comment section.
Yeah.
And we'll get those.
Them.
And you can read them.
Yeah.
I'll read them on the air. And the pine pollen is really getting to me today. There's one more way you can get to us, and that is going to my website, which you can see back here behind me, gardenwiseguy.com, and you can ask me a question on the website.
I think it should be gardenwiseguy and trustycohosts.com.
No, it's just me. I'm the star.
Yeah, I know. It's true. It is your website. I'm just saying.
Now, if you want to help pay for the website, we can start doing that. Okay. All right. That's good. Okay. So, we're looking forward to talking to you today. We've got lots of good stuff to talk about. It is the gunshot has been fired to start the race of planting. It's time to go.
Yeah. Memorial Day, right? Memorial
Day weekend. You should be safe with everything.
But the nights have been so cool.
The nights have been cool. You're exactly right. So certain things are going to be a little sensitive. I mostly worry about things like peppers. Tomatoes. But even tomatoes, they'll bounce. I mean, once things warm up enough, especially the soil temperatures, they'll take right off. But sometimes peppers lock up. And then they just sit there and maybe put on a leaf or two and laugh at you every time you look at them.
And when they get chilled like that, how well do you think they recover?
Very slowly.
But they do, just so it sets the harvest back.
It does set the harvest back, but sometimes, it depends on the variety, I think, the variety that you plant. I mean, I plant shishitos every year, and they don't ever seem to be bothered by the cold soils. But I still wait until Memorial Weekend to do anything. And our night temperatures are going to creep up into the 50s now, soon, and so that should help a lot. I've already put my bananas out. All my tropicals are out on the patio, whether they like it or not.
And they don't get any additional warmth, do they?
No.
From being kind of somewhat close to your house.
No, they're on the north side, which is the cold side. But they are all sitting on a cement or flagstone patio area, so maybe some of that daytime heat is absorbed into those surfaces and released at night. But, the bananas... Well, once they're in the pots, they're over 6 feet tall, so I don't think that warmth now down near the bottom is going to get to the top of them.
No, maybe nobody told them they're really tropical.
Yeah, well, they've always survived before. They'll survive again as long as we don't get that solid rain.
Tough love. in Keith's garden.
Yeah, exactly. We've had a lot of rain. I love it.
Oh, my gosh.
What
Yeah.
a wonderful week it has been for gardeners, not so much for the garden centers, I'm sure. But,
Well, I think once we hit Mother's Day, that's all triggered too,
yeah.
And I think people had faith that it wasn't going to be, 32 degrees several nights in a row anymore.
I know. Well, that shouldn't happen anymore.
No.
It shouldn't. However, I have seen snow in June. So, once since 1979, when we moved here, I've seen snow in June, and I had to replant a lot of annuals. But that's only been once in how many years? 40 plus years?
Right.
Yeah. So,
I was going to guess 40, but I was smarter than I thought. It's just a wild guess. Good. Good. And what else have you planted in your garden?
well, I'm planting perennials like crazy because they'll
yeah,
take the cold
absolutely.
temperatures. If we get any, but we're not going to get any. I looked in my very magical crystal ball this morning, and it said that we're safe.
Okay.
Okay.
And did you get your crystal ball off of Temu or anything?
I
Anything
found it under the
suspect?
couch.
Oh,
It's my dog's ball. He plays with it.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
It's more like a magic 8-ball, really.
Oh, yeah. So you do
It
the
was in a Happy
question.
Meal.
It was in a Happy Meal. That's right. There you go. All right. So we do have a couple of things to talk about. The ET for this last week was at 1 inch, which is down from the previous week. But then you need to subtract the moisture you got over the last week.
But
And
Doesn't ET, aren't they supposed to do that?
they're supposed to do that, but I was looking on the website today, and they put 0 in the
Yeah.
column for rainfall. So you're going to have to
Something's
manually
off.
subtract it. It's called math.
Yeah, something's off.
Yeah.
Because we had, Skip looked last night on our little personal rain gauge, which is a decent rain gauge. It's
Yeah.
not just a plastic, it's a computer like. And we had half an inch just yesterday.
Just yesterday. And so if you add it all up from the whole week, because
Yeah.
we had, in my yard, we had rain pretty much every day last week.
Exactly. So check your soil.
Yeah.
Check the soil moisture.
Yeah, I've turned my sprinkler system off.
Yeah.
And until I start to see some wilting, not during the day, because, plants do, some plants do wilt during the heat of the day, and we're going to get up into the 80s by the week, by Monday, by
80,
Memorial
80
Day.
tomorrow.
80 tomorrow. Okay. Some plants do wilt during the day, even though they have plenty of moisture, because they're protecting themselves from excessive moisture loss. It drops their foliage away from the direct sun, and it's a protection mechanism. And then as soon as we get into late afternoon, early evening, they perk right back up and as happy as can be.
Squash
So-
plants are notorious for that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So, and newly planted plants will be notorious for that as well. So before you reach for the hose, check the soil. And on newly planted plants, always check the original root ball, not the backfill. Because the original root ball is where all those roots are going to be using the water first. And they're starting to get out into the backfill. But that original root ball is going to dry out faster than the backfill. So you need to check in that area. And you can use a moisture meter. You can use your finger. I know I asked my wife years ago, after I broke my leg and I couldn't go out and check things, would you go out and check? And she said, how do I do that? And I looked at her like, how many years have we been married and you don't know how to check for moisture? And so I told her how to do it, stick your finger. And she held her hands up to, not with these fingernails, I'm not. So, moisture meter.
Yeah, exactly.
A screwdriver works well, even a trowel, in an open area. Just dig down several inches deep and see what the moisture levels are like.
If you put a trowel in and just lift it a little bit, you can feel down.
Oh yeah,
pretty well.
yeah, exactly. I don't recommend sticking a trowel into the original
The
root ball of a freshly planted or even an established plant. Try not to disturb the roots. So So the Denver Water Department says ET was 1 inch. I'm in my personal yard. I'm going to say it was 0.
I agree.
The rain
Agreed.
negated. In fact, it might even be a negative number.
Yeah, we were talking about that. We've never seen, even in the rainiest of times,
Yeah.
a negative ET.
We never has seen a negative ET. So let's go out to the phones. We've got Jeanette waiting to talk to us. Good morning, Jeanette.
Good morning.
Hi.
I know this is everybody's getting excited about planting outdoors, but I've got an indoor problem. my African violets, I've got a lot of them, and they get big, and then they have beautiful, beautiful blooms. And invariably, as soon as the blooms start fading, the outer leaves start dropping. I don't understand why.
Dropping by falling off, or just limp?
No, drooping. Getting
Okay.
mushy, wet, and like they've been overwatered or something.
Okay.
But it seems like it happens to all of them when after they bloomed, and like I said, they're really great about that. But
Yeah.
then the outer leaves get mushy and droop.
The lowest leaves?
That biggest
The
one,
bottom
outer,
ones, yeah.
the
Yeah.
outer ones.
And I'm not surprised about that because, leaves on all plants have a lifespan. And so it could be that they've just reached the end of their functional life and the plant is going to shed them because the plant has spent a lot of energy flowering. But the rest of the leaves look okay. The new growth is coming up.
Everything else is very
And
bright and healthy.
you're feeding them?
Oh, yeah, I'm feeding them regularly. I think that's why they're doing so well.
Yeah.
But now, to prevent that, if I cut the flowers off before they bloom, would that keep the leaves from falling?
Well, why would you want to cut the flowers off? I mean, that's why you're growing them, right?
I guess years and years ago I saw an African violet that was really big. And I'd like to get one that's really big. Mine are, 8 inches wide, diameter or whatever. But I kind of like to get them to be really big.
What size
That
pot
does not
are they
crack.
in?
Huh?
What size pot are they in?
Well, probably half the size of the diameter
Okay.
of the plant.
Yeah, I mean, to get a really large African violet, you need to gradually pot them up into larger pots. And the largest I've ever gone is a 6-inch pot, but I don't go directly from the grower pot up to a 6-inch. I wait
Right.
until the plant gets to the point where you're having to water it practically every day before I'll move it up just a little bit,
Yeah.
and then
Well,
just a little bit again, and until you get to that point. And then you should be able to get an African violet that's, could be as much as a foot across.
Right. So it's not like I'm watering it too much or not enough. It's just the natural.
That's the natural process for me with my African violets. I struggle with them personally. One thing I would recommend you do is to, if you can, carefully just pop it out of its container and look at the roots.
When it starts to droop.
Yes, and see, are the roots healthy? Does it smell bad? Does it smell like the soil is rotten? It'll have that sulfury, rotten egg smell. Are the roots real soft and mushy? And if you tug on them, do they just slough right off? That would be an indication that you're keeping them too wet.
And then, if that's the case, then take a scissors and get rid of all that other stuff and just repot it.
I think I would probably, remove some of the outer roots just very carefully without disturbing the soil as little as possible. Put them back into the pot and just reduce your watering frequency.
Okay.
Now, what I've gone to doing is I grow mine with a wick system, so that
I know.
out of the bottom of the pot is a wick that goes down into a container of water, and so they'll pull the water up as they need it.
I've never had good luck with that wick system. I've
Okay.
tried. But
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's
Some people do,
good
some
record
people
job
don't,
with that.
and I think I'm going to. I don't know. Streptocarpus grow really well for me, and I have the African violets right with them, and they just don't do as well as my grandmother's did in her window,
Now, the streptocarpus, I don't have it with my other violets because streptocarpus needs sun, and the violets don't want sun, right?
I grow my streptocarpus in fairly low light, under lights. They never get sun, and they bloom pretty much 12 months out of the year.
Yeah, mine have been pretty good, but I guess I thought they had. Well, I don't have any light, so they have to have sun
Okay, yeah. What do you have, like an east window?
on a south window.
South window. Oh, so they get a lot of light.
Yeah, well, but there's a house right next door, so it doesn't come in. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So,
All right.
Okay. So
Well,
I need to
there
work
is
harder on my streptococcus.
There is an African violet group on Facebook that's local that you could go to and join. It's it doesn't cost anything, and that's a great place to ask questions about African violets because they've got some really good growers. And then every once in a while over at Tagawa's, there's an African violet Streptocarpus show.
That was about 2 months ago.
Yeah, but they
I
do
got
more.
a couple of those. I did.
Yeah, that's another great place to ask those members, about what you're talking about.
Yeah, I've got their card because I went to the last show they had.
Yeah.
So, okay, I guess that's what I need to do is get. I'm kind of shy about getting in with that group because I know they're really good and experts. I just have
No.
a lot of
Yeah,
them.
don't look at it that way because everybody's a beginner at some point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're very,
You're not-
very friendly, open people.
You're
They're-
not a beginner by any
Yeah,
stretch. but
they love to talk to you about
Absolutely.
that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, thank you very much. But I'm going to get dressed and go work outside in my garden.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful weekend. It's planting time.
Yeah, definitely. So, do you think we're safe to put out the coleus and stuff like that?
I have, yes.
Oh, you have. Okay.
Yes, I'm daring Mother Nature.
Yeah. Okay. I hope you're safe because I'm going to put mine out
We're
too.
doomed now.
That's right. That's
We're
right.
doomed.
But next weekend we might all be getting all our sheets and throwing them over all.
No,
the whole garden
no. That's not
outside.
going to happen. No, not going to happen.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Good. Looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for your call,
Take care.
Jeanette.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye.
All right, we've got to take a quick break here. You're listening to the Garden Wise Show on Legends 810.
Soil moist granules are a non-toxic water-storing polymer product that keeps your plants hydrated twice as long. Every morning, you water your hanging baskets, vegetables, and flower beds, and by evening, they're dry again. Soil moist polymer crystals mix into your potting soil and encourage absorption, cutting your watering in half. They absorb water like a sponge, then slowly release it as your soil dries out. That means less watering for you and more consistent moisture at the root level, right where plants need it. Ideal for hanging baskets, planters, flower beds, and even vegetables, Soil Moist reduces transplant shock, improves soil texture, and lasts for seasons. It's non-toxic, degradable, and environmentally friendly. Just hydrate the granules before mixing them into your soil and let Soil Moist do the hard part for you. Find Soil Moist at your favorite independent garden center or learn more at soilmoist.com.
Watering restrictions are here, and every drop matters. So how do you keep your trees, shrubs, and lawn healthy while using less water? Twin Oaks Tree Experts has a smart solution: wetting agents. When soil becomes dry or compacted, water often runs off or evaporates before it ever reaches the roots. Wetting agents fix that problem by helping water soak deep into the soil, right where your plants need it most. That means your trees, shrubs, perennials, and lawn get more benefit from every drop of water with far less waste. You'll see reduced drought stress, stronger root systems, and healthier plants even during watering restrictions. It's a smarter, more efficient way to protect your landscape while staying compliant with local watering limits. Since 1998, Twin Oaks has been staffed with internationally certified arborists, making them your one-stop shop for expert tree and plant care. Call or text 720-263-2337 or schedule online at twinoaksusa.com. Twin Oaks Tree Experts, helping you do more with less water all season long.
We've thawed from the winter chill, and now it's time to read up on the best products to control beetles and grubs in your yards and gardens. There's a couple of products that give a 1-2 punch to those grubs and beetles.
Now that temperatures have risen, the grubs are becoming active again in your lawns and gardens. Make sure you use safe, high-performing products like Grub Gone and Beetle Gone, so you, your kids, and pets can safely enjoy your yard without sharing it with beetles and grubs.
Grub Gone can be applied to turf to control grubs, reduce turf damage, and lessen the impact that beetles will have on your yard in the summer. Plus, it's easy to use. Just apply with any commercial spreader and irrigate into the soil. Grub Gone is a biological product that specifically targets grubs without harming soil beneficials.
And use Beetle Gone in your garden soil to control grubs, or later in summer on your roses and other ornamentals or fruiting plants to control beetle invaders without harming bees, ladybugs, or butterflies. Find out more at BeetleGone.com.
You'll find Grub Gone and Beetle Gone at your local independent garden center. And as always, tell them the Garden Wise guy sent you.
Memorial Day means savings are in full bloom at the gardens at Highlands Ranch. For Memorial Day only, enjoy 20% off store-wide during their biggest seasonal savings event. Now is the perfect time to refresh your yard, garden, and outdoor spaces for summer. Discover beautiful trees, colorful shrubs, hardy evergreens, and stunning roses ready to transform your landscape. Plus, fresh annuals, perennials, vegetables, and herbs are arriving daily, perfect for adding vibrant color and fresh flavor to your home garden. Family owned and operated, the Gardens at Highlands Ranch is your neighborhood garden center and nursery, where something new is always blooming. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is ready to help with everything from choosing the right plants to planting services that make your outdoor projects easy and stress-free. And remember, this special Memorial Day savings event is for one day only, so don't miss it. Visit the Gardens at Highlands Ranch at 9542 South University Boulevard in Highlands Ranch. Open Monday through Saturday 9 to 5 and Sunday 10 to 5. The Gardens at Highlands Ranch, your one-stop shop for all your gardening needs.
Don't miss the Tree Farm's Memorial Day sale. Now through Memorial Day. Save on thousands of trees, shrubs, perennials, vines, berries, and more. Now get up to 30% off all sizes of pine, spruce, fir, and upright juniper trees, including 6-year-old 5.5 to 6 foot tall Austrian pine trees. Now only $219.99 each. Now through Memorial Day. Come see.
You take I-25 to exit 235, then 5 miles west to the Tree Farm.
And we are back to the Garden Wise Show. Hey, I wanted to let everybody know that the Garden Conservancy is a national organization that sets up garden tours all across the country, all summer long.
And do we know anybody who's on the tour?
Let me think. Who could it be? Oh, yeah, that's me.
There you go.
Yeah, on the 13th of this month, of June, not this month.
You're pushing it.
You missed it. No, June 13th is when I am on the tour again. This is my 4th year in a row that they've asked me to be on the tour, and it's never been at this time of year. So if you've been to my yard before on the tour, it's a completely different yard this time of year. Last year I think it was in August, late July or August. Anyway, I'm giving away 2 free tickets because this is something you have to sign up for through the Garden Conservancy, and there's a cost to it. But today I'm going to give away 2 free gift tickets, no purchase necessary.
But they do have to answer a question, right?
Well, they do have to go to my website and sign up for the newsletter.
Okay.
And the website is Garden Wise Guy. Imagine that. GardenWiseGuy.com. Couldn't be easier. GardenWiseGuy.com.
Or Garden Wise Guy and Trusty Co-host.com.
No,
see which one works.
And you just sign up for the newsletter. It's right on the front page. Free. It's a free newsletter.
Yes, and it's a good newsletter.
And I got the May one out, and it talks about growing tomatoes both in the ground and in containers, and the differences and how you adapt and so forth. I also do. It also has a. Okay, so the newsletter starts out with a feature article, and this feature article is tomatoes because tomatoes in June. That's what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
Right? And so some people do them in containers, some people do them in the ground. So there's 2 articles in there about both of those things. Then there's what I always call a plant profile, something that I think is a plant that deserves some extra attention. And this month, it is Oregon grape holly.
Okay.
And the reason I like it so much, next month I think is going to be manzanitas. But anyway, I like it because it's a nice broadleafed evergreen. We have very few choices of broadleafed evergreens in Colorado. And it's one of those plants that can adapt to full shade or full sun or anything in between. And the nice thing about it is it comes in our little native one, which is a ground cover that grows up in the mountains. Which I have in my backyard, and I love it. Then there's one called Compacta, which only grows up to about 4 feet. And then there's the regular full-size one, which will get up about 8 feet tall and try to eat your house. But all of them have beautiful spring blooms, which is great for the early pollinators and so forth. And then purpley blue berries in the summer, which are non-toxic, so you don't have to worry about your dogs or your cats or your children.
Or your spouse.
Or your spouse. I also have a section in the newsletter that are the monthly tips for June. And then there'll be the myth. I always put a gardening myth in the newsletter as well. And this month it's about misting. And is misting good? Is misting your houseplants good? Or is misting your houseplants not a great idea? And I'm on the side of not a great idea.
Yeah, it kind of, if it makes you feel good.
You're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for the plant. In fact, it's detrimental to the plant because you're leaving mineral deposits on the leaves as that water evaporates in, a minute? And so your plants are moist for a minute, and then they're back to bone dry again. And that's more of a shock to the plant than anything. And then the minerals that it does leave behind on the leaves, over time, they build up to the point where they're preventing light from getting through to the leaf like it should. And so then you're in there scrubbing the leaf, trying to get it, and then that damages the cuticle of the leaf. So it's best, if you have to raise the humidity, is just to get a little room humidifier. Group your plants together all in one area so that they give off humidity for each other. Pebble trays work for small, short little plants.
But it disperses so fast.
It does disperse very quickly, and that's why I say for short little plants, like less than 6 inches tall.
1 inch pot. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So, but your taller plants and orchids and that sort of thing, by the time the humidity from the pebble tray gets up to the foliage, it's really has dispersed into the room.
Yeah.
So that's really not the most effective way to go either. So raise the humidity with a little room humidifier in that area, and you don't have to run it 24/7.
No.
I always put them on a timer that like run from 10 in the morning till 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Good for people too.
It's good for people, yeah. And that way, running it for that limited amount of time, it does increase the humidity overall. And then by 4 or 5 o'clock, the temperatures are starting to drop a little bit, and so that's good. And you won't grow moss on your walls.
One side note that's not quite, it's a side note, but it's a few steps out. Don't put your houseplants anywhere near your air conditioning vents.
Or heater vents.
Or heater vents.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just such a bad idea, and they're going to suffer.
Yeah. But number one, the gas-fired heater vents, that's very dry air. And typically air conditioning has a dehumidifier built into the air conditioner, so that's dry air. Yeah. And it's also a temperature shock.
Yeah. So summer, winter, spring, or fall, get them away from the vents.
That didn't rhyme.
It didn't.
You're going to think about that.
Okay, I will.
Summer,
Right after
you
the
started
next break.
good. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Then.
Remember what we say and do it all.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. Well done. Well done, kiddo. All right, let's see. Good morning. I bought Revive. When do I apply? This is a text message. And Revive, you can apply anytime. I'd say that we have plenty of moisture in the ground right now. So normally, when would you recommend applying Revive?
Once the moisture and the rain starts to go away a bit and we get drier, then that's when you're going to be sprinkling according to your watering restrictions. And that's when you want that extra help from Revive.
And what does it do?
It makes water wetter.
And why is that good?
Because it gets down into the roots better.
Exactly, especially if you have a tight soil like a clay soil or a compacted area along a sidewalk or a driveway where people are walking.
Yeah.
The water doesn't want to go in there, it wants to run off.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to put it on now, but there's really no point until things dry out. And on that note, my husband Skip checked with one of the articles about the super El Nino that's coming. We could be looking at a very wet June.
Oh. Well, so take advantage of this weekend.
Yeah. Get out there and get those plants
yeah,
in.
because I noticed next week there's several days that are predicting rain.
I had it on Thursday, I think, at 20%. Wednesday, at 20% chance.
Yeah.
But, so.
Now, I'm one of the lucky ones. My soil is the type of soil that it can rain today and I can plant tomorrow.
It's not muddy. You must not have that much clay.
I don't have much of any clay in my soil. It's a silty loam or a sandy loam, and so it drains very quickly. And I can plant even when the soil is wet. It's still nice and crumbly.
But a soil investigation is what part of what you and your sweet bride did, house hunting.
Oh yeah, and it's
many
not the
people
same
do that.
soil everywhere in the yard.
Of course not.
So it does affect what I plant where. Because of the soil that changes, because the house would apparently when they built the house they raised the soil level from the street level.
Okay.
And so there are certain areas that have this artificial soil that was not artificial, but other soil that was brought in, which is this really sandy, silty loam stuff. And then in the backyard where they didn't raise it, it's a little heavier, but it's still doesn't have much of any clay in it.
Yeah, good stuff.
So
I have did we finish properly the Revive question?
I think we did.
Okay.
Yeah, just use the Revive, and you can use the granular or the liquid. I typically use the liquid, especially if I'm going to use it on any potted plants, which you can do. Sometimes I get neglectful. I'm an underwaterer by nature, and I'll let some of my potted plants outside on the patio or what have you get too dry. And you know when that happens, the soil shrinks away from the edge, and when you try to water it, the water just runs down that gap around the edge and out the bottom and doesn't really wet the root ball.
And a lot of people do that without realizing that's what's happening. And
Yeah.
they think they've watered the container really well.
Exactly.
And it's, yeah,
So mix a little Revive
that's good.
into your watering can and water your plant, and do it a couple of times on the same plant. Or the alternative would be to set the pot into a big saucer or bucket of water and let it soak for half an hour to rehydrate that soil.
And as you do that, kind of scratch that soil around the outer edge.
Absolutely.
Move that back into place.
To fill those
Yeah.
gaps.
I know we have to take a break, but when we get back, I have a pithy question.
A pithy question. Ooh, I like it. All right. Well, we've got to get out of here to let our sponsors let you know what they have for you. And you're listening to the Garden Wise Show on Legends 810.
At DeWitt Company, we have fabrics for every reason and products for every season. When frost, freezing temperatures, and cold nights threaten your veggies and flowers, DeWitt's Insulate Fabric Blanket provides a safe environment for your tender plants during unpredictable cold snaps this spring. DeWitt Insulate is a medium-weight, permeable, UV-treated fabric designed to protect flowering annuals, bedding plants, and vegetables from cold and freezing temperatures. This fabric installs easily and is reusable. Insulate lets you get out there and plant earlier, giving you a jump start on our short growing season. Don't take a chance when frosty weather threatens. Protect your time, hard work, and money with DeWitt Insulate fabric as a low-cost insulation against the elements. DeWitt landscaping products and plant fabrics are the #1 choice of professionals in the lawn and garden industry. DeWitt's high-performance quality products save time and are environmentally safe for the responsible homeowner. One company, over 600 products. Go to www.dewittcompany.com for more information. You'll find DeWitt Insulate at your favorite independent garden centers, including Tagawa Gardens in Centennial, Nick's Garden Center in Aurora, and Jared's Nursery in Littleton.
Hear that? That could be mice already inside your home. Mice can squeeze through holes as small as a 1/4 inch, then chew through wiring, shred insulation, and contaminate everything they touch. Stop the damage before it starts with Epic Mouse Scram, the natural, humane way to repel mice. Epic Mouse Scram uses powerful scent and taste deterrents to train mice to stay away from your home, garage, attic, basement, shed, even your vehicle's RV or boat. No traps, no poisons, no mess. Just easy-to-use granules and pouches that last up to 30 days, guaranteed. And it's eco-friendly, safe for your family, your pets, and the environment. So why deal with dead mice when you can stop them from coming in at all? Get Epic Mouse Scram today and take back your home the natural way. Epic Mouse Scram. Repel mice, protect your space.
It's spring again, which means Plum Creek Garden Market is back with 5 locations along the Front Range, including a new location in Centennial just south of the IKEA. With over 1,000 varieties of high-quality, locally grown flowers and plants, there's nowhere better to shop if you want the best for your garden. This year, Plum Creek has also greatly expanded their selection of native perennials and grasses to help gardeners deal with water restrictions throughout the Denver metro area. Combined with the other xeric and Plant Select varieties they carry, it's easier than ever to plant a beautiful and colorful low-water garden. If you need advice or recommendations, just ask any of the local gardening experts they have on staff, who are beloved in their communities. In-the-know gardeners will snap up Plum Creek's inventory before you know it. So shop while you can in May and June. Markets are open daily in Centennial, Erie, Littleton, Greenwood Village, and Castle Rock. Visit plumcreekgardenmarket.com to learn more.
Don't miss the Tree Farm's Memorial Day sale. Now through Memorial Day. See what's on sale at thetreefarm.com. Get up to 30% off all sizes of shade trees, flowering trees, and fruit trees, including aspen, apple, cherry, maple, oak, and more. For example, 3-year-old 7 to 8 foot tall autumn blaze maple trees, only $139.99 each through Memorial Day.
You
Come
take
see.
I-25 to exit 235. Then 5 miles west to the tree farm.
All All right, we are back to the Garden Wise show. I love that jingle. I mean, how long has that been on the air? It's been decades.
It's kind of a love-hate relationship.
I think everybody knows it.
Because, yeah, it's very catchy, absolutely really catchy.
Yeah.
And then it's about a micrometer away from an earworm.
Yes, that's very true. That's very true. So, okay, so I already talked about giving away tickets to the Garden Conservancy tour to my yard.
By signing up on your website.
By signing up for the newsletter on my website. It's a free newsletter, gardenwiseguy.com. That's where you go. We're giving away 2 tickets today, next weekend, and let's see, on the 6th of June, I'm going to give away a whole bunch of tickets so that, because the way it works is you have to buy a different ticket for each garden you want to go to. And I'm going to give away tickets for all the gardens.
How many are
on the
total?
13th? I think there's 6 of them.
Okay.
On the 13th that you can go visit, and I'm giving away a ticket to each one of them.
You're a very generous guy.
The Garden Conservancy is very generous.
All right, I take it back.
Okay, I'm not. I'm stingy. I'm very stingy. I'm almost a Scrooge, but not quite.
Do you want to hear
I'm
my
nicer than that.
pithy question?
Oh yes, I want your pithy question.
Okay. When you plant a tomato and it has blossoms and even a little bit of fruit, do you take them off? Do you leave them on? Because the longest time people were told to take them off.
I never do. I may take the lower leaves off that I'm going to put underground.
Yeah.
If I bury the plant deeper, but I typically leave the fruit on.
It makes sense to me, but they used to say take all that off so it develops a faster root system. It's not wasting energy, but it's like, really?
If it was wasting energy, it wouldn't have put the fruit on.
True. But, like a lot of things, when you put them in the ground, perennials included, you really want to favor that root system for a while.
Yeah.
But I don't think tomatoes qualify for that.
No.
And
No, there's also that one out there that when you plant peppers, cut the top off.
Oh.
And I just, oh my gosh, why would you do that?
Yeah.
I mean, you're cutting off foliage. The foliage is the engine that runs that plant, and you're taking the gasoline away.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, so I have my 20 tomato plants are going, okay, now can we go out now? No, okay. I give them voice.
And tomatoes are not bee pollinated.
No, they're not.
They're not. They're self-pollinating. And
with wind.
With wind or movement. So if you're not getting fruit this year, later on in the month when they're up and growing and flowering and you're not seeing any fruit set, go out there and shake the plant. Your neighbors will think you're being mean, but that's actually what causes the pollen to drop and pollinate the flowers. Now that you'll see bees visiting them, but what causes the pollination is the vibration of the bee being on the flower.
Yeah.
It's really not, the bee's not getting anything from being on a tomato flower.
And don't they use, I'm pretty sure they use bumblebees for buzz pollination in greenhouse growing tomatoes.
Oh, when I was in college, we had these looked like a flashlight with a stick at the center of it, and battery operated, and the stick would vibrate, and we'd just go around and we'd just tap the flower heads.
Sort of like knighting them.
Yes, and you do that every few days. And if you don't like to do that, you can use an electric toothbrush. That works.
I love that one.
There's also a natural spray called Blossom Set that you can use on that, and peppers, and a lot of other plants that will
You just need to use that once?
No, you want to use it as the new flowers open.
But I mean, each blossom only needs it once.
Once, yeah.
Okay.
And then that usually will set fruit with no seeds.
Really?
Yeah, they'd be seedless.
That's interesting.
Because they weren't pollinated.
True enough.
They were. I shouldn't say chemically pollinated.
Hormonally.
But hormonally. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And we have a question about tomatoes.
Oh yes. Let's see here. Where is it? Oh yeah. What should I feed my tomatoes now? They are getting tall and they are still in 2 or 3 inch pots. Well, you should be feeding them all along.
Yeah.
Just a general balanced fertilizer. I typically will go with a 10-10-10 or a 20-20-20. I like
strength?
a water soluble. No, I don't do it full strength. I use about half strength once a week.
When they're in their pots or when they're in the ground as well?
Yes, in the ground as well. Okay. Both. Okay. Especially if you're growing tomatoes in containers.
Right.
Weekly feeding is going to be vital.
Because all those nutrients are leaching out with every water.
Exactly. And so a constant mild fertilizer throughout the year is really good. Now, this person who's called in about their 2 to 3 inch pots, they're getting tall. When you do plant them out, you can bury them deep.
Yeah.
Or, well, like I like to do if you've got leggy plants. And there's nothing wrong with a leggy tomato, because you can. That's one of those plants that will root out on the stem that's underground.
Right.
Many times we tell people, don't plant the plant any deeper than what it was growing in the pot, but tomatoes are an exception. You can bury those stems. And what I like to do is bury them in a horizontal trench rather than a deep hole, because the deeper you go in our soils, the colder it gets. And you're putting that entire root system down into cold soil down deep in a hole. It worked in Kansas, but it was a lot warmer there. Here, I just dig a 2 or 3 inch trench horizontally, lay the plant in there, cover the stem up to where you want the rest of it to be above ground, and then just stake it upright so that the top of the plant is above the ground.
Yeah, so it will look funny at first.
Yeah.
Because the roots are over here and the plant is over there.
And you need to remember where those roots are. If you're going in there with a hoe or something, you don't want to sever that stem. So put a flag or something. But yeah, that's another way to do it, is do it horizontally, and that way the roots, the stems will be up in the warm soil and root in nicely, and that gives the plant a whole lot more root power.
Right. Bigger root system.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So don't be too worried about buying a leggy tomato. You can plant them deep.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool beans.
All right.
Let's see what else. I got a message from my website about somebody who had roses, and they were red roses, and this year when they grew and they flowered, they were pink.
Yeah.
They've always been red.
Yeah.
This year they're pink.
They'll never be red again.
Exactly. So I did some research on this, because my first thought was, well, you lost the graft. But then I thought, well, there might be some other reason. So I did some research on it. And sometimes temperature cold temperatures usually intensify the color. So they would be a more vivid red. So that's not going to be the problem. Hot temperatures, which we have not had, can fade the colors to be more of a pinkish color.
And is that the heat or the sun?
The heat, and the sun together, yeah.
Bleaching them a little bit.
But what I think the problem was that the grafted portion of the rose died. And so the rootstock, which is completely different, has come up, and it can be, depending on what kind of rootstock was used, it can be a different color rose.
And not necessarily a very desirable rose.
No, it could be a small kind of a wild rose looking thing, just all
vigorous, robust roots.
Very, yeah, the foliage looks different. The growth pattern habit is much, much different. It's much more, like you said, robust and wild looking. So that can happen to roses. I like, if you're going to plant roses here in Japanese beetle country now, look for roses that are on their own roots. And that way, if we do have a severe winter or something that knocks them back, they'll come up from underground and still be the same rose.
Right. It's tough, and that's one reason that you put those collars around and put some mulch or pine needles or something in there to kind of protect that graft point.
Yes. And the Rose Society people, I work at Nick's on the weekends now, and the Rose Society people are always there on the weekends answering questions and helping you pick out roses and that sort of thing. And they recommend planting the graft below ground.
I think Richard, our rose supervisor, who is, by the way, a new daddy, congratulations.
Oh, congratulations, Richard.
They're talking about putting that graft point about 3 inches below the soil line.
And we've got to go to break, I know, but I want to say one more thing about planting deep, and it's about clematis. So when we get back from this break, I want to give you a new tip. Okay. Well, it's not so new. I've talked about it before. But you were listening to the Garden Wise Show on Legends 810. Sean? You said we need to go to break. I did.
This Memorial Day, make your home and garden shine with help from Wilmore Nursery.
voted Littleton's best garden center for 2025 and proudly celebrating 140 years as a locally family-owned tradition. Right now, it's the perfect time to plant, and Wilmore makes it easy with beautiful, ready-to-go pre-planted planters that add instant color to any space. Looking to save? Don't miss their stunning 10-inch hanging baskets, full, blooming, and absolutely gorgeous. On sale now for just $29.88. Regularly $49.99. With thousands to choose from, you're sure to find your favorite. Plus, brighten up your yard with 4-inch pink pot annuals, only $5.88, with fresh weekly deliveries. Wilmore also has a huge selection of drought-tolerant annuals, perennials, trees, and shrubs, perfect for Colorado living. And don't forget, citrus plants, tomato and herb plants, plus hummingbird feeders and nectar to bring your garden to life. Celebrate Memorial Day with colors, savings, and a tradition you can trust. Wilmore Nursery, 711 East County Line Road in Littleton. Open Monday through Saturday 9 to 5 and Sunday 10 to 5. Wilmore Nursery, 140 years of growing beauty in your community.
May is here, and at Jared's Nursery Gift and Garden Center, we're ready for planting season. Hopefully the roller coaster weather is behind us, but it's still wise to be ready to cover your plants in case Mother Nature slaps us, especially for our mountain customers dealing with colder nights. Jared's is fully stocked with beautiful annuals, perennials, herbs, veggies, and hanging baskets. And if you're ready to get planting, you'll be amazed by the color and variety. Most of it's locally grown. Our friendly, experienced staff is here to help you choose the right plants and know which ones may need a little extra care over the next few weeks. Looking for the perfect Mother's Day gift? Jared's has you covered with stunning hanging baskets, patio pots, potted roses, and even gloves, hats, and tools for the gardening mom. Don't miss one of the best gift shops around, full of unique finds at great prices. Whether you're planting a veggie garden, refreshing your landscaping, or adding trees and shrubs, Jared's is your go-to resource. If you've got questions, we've got answers. From gifts and tools to fountains, statuary, and bulk materials like mulch, compost, soil, and rock, you'll find it all at Jared's. Family-owned and serving the community for 48 years. Visit Jared's Nursery Gift and Garden Center at 10500 West Bowles Avenue in Littleton. Open 9 to 6 weekdays and 9 to 5 weekends. We look forward to seeing you soon.
If you're ready to show off some beautiful red, white, and blue for Memorial Day, Tagawa Gardens is the place for you. This is Luan Akin, Tagawa's Garden Ambassador. All of our bright, bold annuals are on sale 30% off. There's no limit to the ways you can honor our country on Memorial Day, and again as we celebrate our 250th birthday in July. Our pre-planted container gardens are on sale too, also 30% off. They're the ultimate in instant gratification, bringing overflowing flower pots, bowls, and window boxes full of color to your porch, deck, or patio. The savings go on in our herbs and veggie departments, with everything in stock also 30% off. Have room in your garden for a new rose or two? Tagawa's rose inventory is still going strong, and every rose in stock is 20% off, now through Memorial Day Monday. We have new shipments of trees, shrubs, and perennials, a little something for everybody. And with milder weather coming up, there's no better time to plant than now. Don't forget to check out our light, bright gift shop. You'll find perfect accents and decor with plenty of red, white, and blue flair. Tagawas is proud to honor our military community on Memorial Day and always, and to recognize those who have sacrificed so much to defend our freedom. Gratefully, we are Tagawas, your garden store, and so much more.
Don't miss the Tree Farm's Memorial Day sale. Now through Memorial Day, the Tree Farm has been family owned and cared for since 1980. Now get 25% off all sizes of flowering shrubs, including lilac, spirea, butterfly bush, and more. For example, 3-year-old Bloomerang dark purple lilac, now just $74.96 each. Now through Memorial Day. Come see.
You take I-25 to exit 235. Then 5 miles west to the Tree Farm.
All right, we are back to the Garden Wise Show. By the way, our phone lines are wide open. You shouldn't have any problems getting in. 303-477-2473. That's the telephone number to call in and chat with me or Luan or both of us. Mm-hmm. And, of course, the text number, as always, 477-5600. 303-477-5600. I mentioned there's a tip on planting clematis that I just learned a few years ago, and that is to plant your clematis 3 or 4 or even 5 inches deeper than what they're growing in the pot.
Really?
And that helps protect them from clematis wilt. And I've seen clematis wilt. I've had that happen in my yard. And since I started planting them deeper, if I do get some clematis wilt, they come right back. The clematis regrows because they've got all that stem underground that can resprout. And it seems to work.
So explain to me how that wilt itself
It's
affects the plant.
You'll have what looks like an entirely beautiful clematis plant, and all of a sudden, one whole branch will just like wilt overnight.
Okay.
And basically that branch dies.
So how is that infection getting into the plant? I'm trying to figure out how burying it that much deeper than the soil line nursery, how does that protect it?
I guess it's an above ground issue.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so,
Okay.
yeah, and then it has those stems from below ground.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I've started planting mine a good 3 or 4 inches deeper than they were in the pot, and they seem to really like that.
Wow. Isn't nature amazing?
Yeah,
Just-
and it also puts the root ball a little deeper in the soil where
Yeah.
it stays moist longer.
So you ideally need a clematis with a little bit of height to it when
Yeah.
you buy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't do that with a little 2.5 inch pot that's only 6 inches tall.
Come on, little one. Come on. Yeah.
Okay, and you asked me your pithy question.
Yes, and you
So-
had something pithy.
I did?
Yeah. Maybe it was the clematis thing.
Oh, it might
Maybe
be
it
my
was
knee.
pithy in my imagination.
Okay, let's see. It's hi guys. Is it still a good time to do a Chelsea chop on my silver mound artemisia? It's getting a little out of hand. Thank you from Amy. And Chelsea chop. Not everybody knows what a Chelsea chop is. Chelsea Flower Show in England is a big deal. It's been around for, I don't know, centuries maybe.
Going on now, or just
It's going on,
finishing
yeah. Uh-huh. And so back there in England, in the perennials that have a tendency to get really tall, like asters and that bloom later, that have a tendency to flop open when they get big. They do what's called a Chelsea chop because they do it at the time the Chelsea Flower Show is happening. Is they go through and they cut the plant back by half, and that causes it to branch from the base and produce lots more stems. It stays shorter, and you get more flowers, but it's not floppy. And so there are certain plants that it's cool to do the Chelsea chop on. And I would say, yeah, go ahead, give it a shot, and see what happens. The artemisia should sprout right back. You could cut it back by about 50%, and then it'll come back nice and bushy, and it won't, because that silver mound, I don't know if you've ever grown
I
it.
have.
I've stopped growing it because it always
does.
disappoints me. It starts up just beautifully. This just beautiful silver lacy mound of foliage.
It's soft.
Soft, and you just want to go roll around in it. And then once it gets up about 8 or 10 inches tall, it opens up in the middle.
And I
and
always
you
thought
lose
that was
that.
because I was overwatering it, but you
Not-
think it just does that anyway.
I think it just does that anyway.
Okay.
So, yeah, Chelsea chop on that, and other artemisias that get tall, like Poe's Castle is another one that I'll chop it back. Seafoam is another one that I'll chop back. I've already chopped them back. I didn't wait for the Chelsea chop. I did it early. And
What if you chopped it back the minute you see it splaying open? Do you think it'd come back that season?
Well, that happens later on in the summer. So
little
if you do it a little earlier,
Okay.
then you have more of the summer to appreciate its true beauty.
Okay.
That's
I
my
love-
thought.
I love silver in the landscape.
I do too.
Just love it.
You know, it's like having black clothing in your wardrobe. Everybody needs some black clothing. Everybody needs silver in their landscape.
Yeah, and I prefer the silver over white.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. Silver foliage. Lamb's ears, artemisias. There's all kind. There's some beautiful silver foliage lavenders. So I highly recommend it. What else have we got going on here? Let's see. We already talked about tomato plants. Okay, good morning, Keith and Luan. I planted this variegated fire and ice variety of hosta last year, and this year it's producing a different hosta variety set of leaves. Number one, thoughts on why? Number two, is there a good way to tease these different leaves out so they don't regrow this season or future? And this is from Rob. Now, you know, genetics are genetics. Sometimes hostas are an unstable sport, an unstable hybrid, or mutation, I mean. And so sometimes you will get a variegated plant that grows just fine, and then all of a sudden it starts to produce green leaves. And that portion of the plant needs to be removed. But it can also be caused by temperature. We had some really weird temperatures this year in the spring when the hostas were coming up. I would leave it alone, Rob. Let it do its thing. Wait until later on in the summer and then re-examine the foliage on that and whether or not it's something that you want to keep. It probably will be something you want to keep, although it may not be exactly like the fire and ice that you envisioned. But it can have to do with the amount of sun it gets, the amount of shade it gets. You have anything else?
I was just, so when you talk about sports, the offsets,
Mhm.
ups, being really interesting, a lot of the plant select plants are things that, top dog type horticulturists have found to go, well, that's interesting. I wonder if we can reproduce that.
Yeah. And they're not always stable.
They're not stable. They can be fickle.
Yeah, some of them are genetically variegated, and so they won't do that. But some of them are just unstable mutations. And once in a while, I've got a Lismachia, a variegated Lismachia that grows up tall and has yellow flowers all up and down. And it's nice, beautiful variegation. I just love it. But every once so often, I'll see a green stem come up in the middle of the plant, and you need to go in and rogue those out, because typically the green foliaged portion of a variegated plant is going to outgrow the variegated portion.
Right.
And you can actually lose the variegated part of the plant.
Good.
So there you have it.
Very good.
Yeah. Let's see, what else are we going to talk about? Best tomato varieties. I had a question about that. What are the best tomato varieties to grow here in Colorado? And for me, it depends on whether you want to grow a slicer, do you want to grow a pasta type, do you want to grow a cherry type? I mean, what's your idea?
If I could only grow one, I'd grow Sun Gold.
Sun Gold? Oh,
Yeah, I don't
it's a
know
cherry.
that it's not much of, it's a largish cherry, a nice sized cherry.
And yellow.
And
So-
yield sign yellow.
Yeah, and the birds and the squirrels don't notice them.
They can get leggy.
Mhm. It's a big grower.
But they grow fast. That the plants I have at home, are yet to be planted. I have 2 Sun Golds. They're tall and they have fruit on them.
Yeah.
They're assertive.
They're precocious.
They are.
They're early bearing. You can always count on getting Sun Gold tomatoes. And it's like candy.
They're just like candy, and they're not, in my opinion, they're not too sweet. I've had some like black cherries that are just sweeter than I care for.
A little tart, but
Yeah.
mostly sweet. Yeah. Sun Gold would be, if you're going to grow a cherry, Sun Gold is right up there at the top as a must-have. Now that also brings up, do you want to plant a determinate or an indeterminate tomato? And not everybody knows the difference. And an indeterminate tomato is a variety that just keeps growing all summer long.
Right.
They get big. You have to cage them, that sort of thing. And then the determinate types are the ones that get basically to a certain size. They produce a heavy crop that comes in fairly much all at once.
Within a month-ish.
Yeah,
Something like that.
like a Roma, a pasta type tomato, because you want them all to come in at once so you can make your pasta, right?
For your canning purposes.
Yeah, canning and that sort of thing. So that's a determinate type that doesn't keep growing all summer long. And those are great for container growing.
Right. I have more ideas when we get back after the
More ideas?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
Well, I'll also talk about my favorite varieties of slicer tomatoes as well. That music means we have to get out of here for like a 0.3 second break at the top of the hour. And we'll be back real quickly. You're listening to The Garden Wise Show. Give us a call. The phone lines are open, 303-477-2473. We've got more text messages to go over. We're going to talk about tomatoes after we get back, some of our favorite varieties. I know, Luan, you at Tagawa's, you guys have like 7,000 varieties.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So stick tuned. Get yourself a nice fresh cup of coffee. Sit back in your easy chair and listen to the second hour of The Garden Wise Show here on Legends 810.
You're listening to Legends Radio, KLVZ, 810 AM and HD, Brighton, Denver. KLVZ FM 94.3 and 95.3. Streaming at legends953.com.
Welcome to the Garden Wise Show with Colorado's most knowledgeable and entertaining garden experts with host Keith Funk, the Garden Wise Guy. Get ready for gardening tips that you can use right now. New plants, hot products, and the latest from horticultural science. The phone lines are open, so call into the Legend Studio now. 303-477-2473. That's 303-477-2473. Or text your questions and photos to 303-477-5600. That's 303-477-5600. On the air since 1994, Keith and his guests have been answering your questions about gardening in the high-altitude desert of the Colorado Front Range. And now, here's your host, Keith Funk, the Garden Wise Guy.
Yeah, that would be me. I'm Keith Funk. I'm your Garden Wise Guy host for the next hour of gardening questions and answers. And joining me today is the lovely and talented Luan Akin from Tagawa Gardens, their garden ambassador.
Your trusty co-host du jour.
That's right.
Yeah.
Deputy co-host.
That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were talking about tomatoes.
Yeah.
And you said you had something to add.
I love those mahogany colored ones. That Paul Robeson, some of the others, I think they're just so pretty. I generally have good luck with big beef.
Big beef? Okay.
Big beef.
For slicers?
It's not a huge slicer, but it's good. But I'll have to admit that this will be the first time in my raised beds. So everything that all the experience I have is growing in ground or a few in pots. But I'm real anxious to see what if the raised beds do more than help my knees.
Well, I think, raised beds are going to, the soil in them is going to warm up sooner. And I think that's going to help all warm season crops.
Right.
Squash and corn and beans and all those guys
Yeah.
prefer a warmer soil. So raised beds come in handy that way.
Yeah. I'm real curious to see how this goes.
There's a little bit of trade-off with the watering.
Yeah.
But, you'll have to water them more. And fertilize them pretty regularly because their roots are restricted to a certain space.
It's a big space.
It's a big space. Are they? And they're open at the bottom.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So they can root down into your native soil if they get that deep.
These are 29-inch beds, so I doubt if you'll see that.
Yeah, that's
we get them on
a
some
deep
steroids.
That's a deep one. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was going to say a couple of my favorite slicers from childhood. I still grow, and you can still find them. One of them is called Ace, like the playing card, ACE, and the other is called Jet Star, which is one word, Jet Star. And these I would almost qualify as heirloom types because they've been around since I was a kid, so that's a while.
But are they heirloom in that they've never been hybridized and you could use the seed?
Good question. I never save the seed.
Yeah.
I always buy plants.
Yeah.
The reason I buy plants for tomatoes is because if I were to buy seed packets for all the varieties of tomatoes I'd want, I'd have way too much seed.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's more economical for me to just buy the few plants of the different varieties I want already started.
How many do you grow tomato plants?
About a dozen, 10 to a dozen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, if you have the space, the time, and the inclination, get a determinant, an early setting determinant, and then have some indeterminates, the more binding type.
Yeah.
So you're kind of covering the season.
Yeah.
Start to finish.
Yeah. And that's why I plant some cherries like Sun Gold and some slicers. Now, the Jet Star and the Ace, they being an old variety, they're not terribly disease resistant. So if you've had tomato disease problems in the past and you can't find another space to plant them where you haven't had tomatoes for a few years, then I would go to some more modern hybrids like Better Boy or Big Boy because they have that disease resistance built in to their genetics.
Right. And its resistance is not there. It's not proof perfect.
They're not immune.
Yeah, immune. That's
yes. Yeah. So you still have to practice good cultural practices, good soil prep, good watering, those sorts of things, good air circulation, plenty of sun, all those things that keep a tomato nice and happy and healthy, and they'll be very disease resistant that way. But if you get any of those things wrong, that makes those tomato plants of any kind more susceptible to issues.
And having the ability, having the space to replant in a different location every year, that's a huge luxury.
It is a
Most
huge luxury.
people don't have that.
Yeah. Unless you're growing in containers, you can change
Right.
the soil.
Mhm.
You know, that's one way to go. But yeah, so those are kind of my favorite varieties. And there's a big yellow, I think it's called Yellow Boy.
Okay, yes. that's one.
And those yellow fruited tomatoes, I just think are awesome. The flavor is perfect for my palate.
Okay.
And they're less acidic. So if you have tummy issues, yeah, they're a little less acidic.
And beautiful in a salad.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
Beautiful.
And on a sandwich.
Not that you're
or a
looking-
burger. Yeah. Okay, we got Margaret on the line wanting to talk to us. Good morning, Margaret.
Good morning. How are you?
We're great. Thank you for calling in. What's going on
Well-
with you this weekend?
Well, trying to eventually get out to my yard, but it's not working right well.
I'm sorry.
So far in the month of May, so things will get there when they get there. Couple quick questions. I bought a lupin. What's the best growing conditions? How much water? Because I've tried lupin in the past, and I just haven't been able to get them to grow. So,
Well, you know, a lot of the newer varieties that are out now are really durable and reblooming. So I highly recommend the newest varieties you can find.
okay.
But
I bought one up at Gully, so hopefully it's one of those.
Probably is. I find that they do quite well in either full sun or at least half a day of full sun.
Okay.
At a well-prepared soil, you know, like you
Okay.
would for most any perennials, like daylilies or daisies or that sort of thing. So don't go overboard.
Okay.
And then they do like to get slightly on the dry side between waterings, but not to the point of wilting. Have you grown
I have not,
lupin?
just because I live in a wind tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, so they knock
I try
over.
to keep everything about a foot tall, and no, I don't.
And lupin does have a tendency to be a little susceptible to, I shouldn't say a lot susceptible to slugs.
Okay.
So
All
if you
right.
have a slug problem, you'll want to treat at the time of planting.
Okay. I've never noticed any slugs in our yard, but that doesn't mean they aren't there. I just never noticed them.
Yeah, and they'll feed right at the base of the lupin and,
Okay.
and girdle the plant, and then suddenly you have a perfectly healthy plant, and all of a sudden it just collapses for no apparent reason whatsoever.
Okay. All right. I'll watch for that.
Okay.
Next question. Last spring, we had two small trees planted, a honey locust and a rose of Sharon. They're probably, I don't know, if you put your thumb and index finger together, they're a little bit bigger than that, but not a lot. When should I take the stakes off?
They've been in for a year?
Almost a year, yeah.
Yeah. I usually recommend just a year.
Okay. All right. So I need to go back and look and see when they actually went in closer to that date.
Yeah, you want to get as close to the hour and the minute as possible.
Oh, gee, I don't know. That might be tough. Let's see. Luan Tagawa planted them. Can you tell me?
Do you get a lot of wind where you are?
Not. You know, we live in Centennial near South Glen Country Club. I don't know that it's windier than any place else.
No, you should be pretty protected there. And how tall is the locust tree?
The honey locust tree, it might be, it's probably more than 6 foot now. It's tall and skinny at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, you should be fine there. Usually I don't even stake trees that are, under 8 feet tall unless you're in a wind tunnel.
Like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, they were planted and Tagawa staked them when they put them in, so
And
that was
that's
fine with me.
That's a good safety precaution, yes, definitely.
They'll
Okay.
do fine. They have the Tagawa touch.
That's what we figured.
But primarily what
last-
the reason for everybody else listening, the reason for staking even a small tree like that is so that it doesn't wobble in the hole, the root ball doesn't move around in the planting hole, so as the new roots grow out into the new soil, they're not getting sheared off by the root ball shifting around.
Right.
And so that by now those roots should have grown out and anchored the tree, and it's not established full. I wouldn't call it a fully established tree, not for another couple of years, but the root ball should be stable at this point.
Okay. And then last question, I want to plant a hydrangea. What kind of location?
I love hydrangeas.
You were
So do
showing
I. That's
me.
why I want to plant one.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's two kinds that I recommend. One is the Annabelle types, which is Hydrangea arborescens, is the Latin for them, and you need to know this.
Okay.
Arborescens is a plant that will take up to and including full shade. But I think ideally you'll want them in morning sun and afternoon shade, protecting them from the hot afternoon sun. And they're always, well, no, they're not always white. They're typically a white hydrangea, kind of a flat top dome.
Okay, the one I saw that I want to plant is red. I don't know what kind it is.
Okay, it's probably hydrangea macrophylla, or they also call them big leaf hydrangeas.
Okay.
And they're tricky.
Oh.
For a couple of reasons. Number one, unlike there's another kind of hydrangea called hydrangea paniculata, which has wonderful varieties like Bobo and Pinky Winky and Berry White and Pufferfish, and they look like upside down ice cream cones. You know, they're pointed to the
Right.
top, and those kinds like a lot of sun.
Okay.
And the reason I like that and the first kind, the arborescens or Annabelle types, is because you can cut them way down and they'll grow up and bloom the same year.
Oh, okay.
Now, the big-leafed hydrangeas, the macrophylla types, like the red one I believe that you're looking at, the tag will tell you if it's
Right,
a
I'll look
macrophylla. They set their flower buds like lilacs do. They set their flower buds the previous year. So by the fall of this year, the flower buds will be set for next spring. If we have a bad winter and it kills the plant down to the ground level, you'll get beautiful foliage come up, but you'll have lost the ability for that plant to bloom.
Okay. Okay. All right. So
And there's one other issue with macrophylla types, especially the blue ones, is that they have to have an acid soil to
Right.
get the blue flowers. And we have alkaline soil and alkaline water, so you're fighting a battle constantly.
Right, I understand that. Okay, so the kind that don't set their blooms that come back every year are called
Paniculata.
paniculata.
Uh-huh. Or
Okay.
arborescens. So
And
paniculatas
they-
want a lot more sun, and arborescens will take more shade.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's what I needed to know. Thank you very much. And I think that's everything. You said lupin are okay. They want to be damper or dry. I don't remember now.
I would say average, more toward
Okay.
the damp side, but do let them they don't like soggy. Just put it that
Okay.
way. They'll rot real quickly.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're so
Have a
welcome.
great weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
One thing I love about the Annabelle types, there is a pink one now out there, and I can't think of the name of it. The Annabelle types and the paniculata types is that they're like a zone 4.
Oh, good.
And I have had total success growing them in pots out on the patio. And they come back every year. I don't even move them off the patio. I just leave them where they are. And I'll go out there and water them once in a while during the winter because they will dry out. And hydrangeas like moisture. But perfectly hardy and reliable in a large container. And by large, I mean, 18 inches in diameter or larger. And they work beautifully.
That's great when you have plants that will overwinter in a pot.
It is, and it's rare.
You have to be careful, yeah.
Yeah, but the watering in the winter is pretty vital.
I'm suffering from neglect now, just poor winter watering of some new perennials this year.
I think
just didn't
that
get it
all of
done.
us are guilty of
I
that.
just didn't get it done, and I'm seeing it on the plants.
Yeah.
Wow. I have two or three really nice shrubs
Mhm.
and a small tree. They're just like, they're alive,
Mhm.
but boy, they're twiggy.
A twiggy, huh?
Yeah, so I think they'll come back, but whoa.
Takes them a little longer.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
My
Well,
bad.
we have a problem here in Colorado called Japanese beetle.
Yeah.
And this is the time of year to start your control program with Japanese beetle. And when we get back from this break, we're going to be talking to one of the world-renowned experts in Japanese beetle control and how to do it safely and effectively. So stick tuned. You're listening to the Garden Wise Show on Legends 810.
We've thawed from the winter chill, and now it's time to read up on the best products to control beetles and grubs in your yards and gardens. There's a couple of products that give a 1-2 punch to those grubs and beetles.
Now that temperatures have risen, the grubs are becoming active again in your lawns and gardens. Make sure you use safe, high-performing products like Grub Gone and Beetle Gone, so you, your kids, and pets can safely enjoy your yard without sharing it with beetles and grubs.
Grub Gone can be applied to turf to control grubs, reduce turf damage, and lessen the impact that beetles will have on your yard in the summer. Plus, it's easy to use. Just apply with any commercial spreader and irrigate into the soil. Grub Gone is a biological product that specifically targets grubs without harming soil beneficials.
And use Beetle Gone in your garden soil to control grubs, or later in summer on your roses and other ornamentals or fruiting plants to control beetle invaders without harming bees, ladybugs, or butterflies. Find out more at BeetleGone.com.
You'll find Grub Gone and Beetle Gone at your local independent garden center. And as always, tell them the Garden Wise guy sent you.
May is here, and at Jared's Nursery Gift and Garden Center, we're ready for planting season. Hopefully the roller coaster weather is behind us, but it's still wise to be ready to cover your plants in case Mother Nature slaps us, especially for our mountain customers dealing with colder nights. Jared's is fully stocked with beautiful annuals, perennials, herbs, veggies, and hanging baskets. And if you're ready to get planting, you'll be amazed by the color and variety. Most of it's locally grown. Our friendly, experienced staff is here to help you choose the right plants and know which ones may need a little extra care over the next few weeks. Looking for the perfect Mother's Day gift? Jared's has you covered with stunning hanging baskets, patio pots, potted roses, and even gloves, hats, and tools for the gardening mom. Don't miss one of the best gift shops around, full of unique finds at great prices. Whether you're planting a veggie garden, refreshing your landscaping, or adding trees and shrubs, Jared's is your go-to resource. If you've got questions, we've got answers. From gifts and tools to fountains, statuary, and bulk materials like mulch, compost, soil, and rock, you'll find it all at Jared's. Family owned and serving the community for 48 years. Visit Jared's Nursery Gift and Garden Center at 10500 West Bowles Avenue in Littleton. Open 9 to 6 weekdays and 9 to 5 weekends. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Memorial Day means savings are in full bloom at the Gardens at Highlands Ranch. For Memorial Day only, enjoy 20% off store-wide during their biggest seasonal savings event. Now is the perfect time to refresh your yard, garden, and outdoor spaces for summer. Discover beautiful trees, colorful shrubs, hardy evergreens, and stunning roses ready to transform your landscape. Plus, fresh annuals, perennials, vegetables, and herbs are arriving daily, perfect for adding vibrant color and fresh flavor to your home garden. Family owned and operated, the Gardens at Highlands Ranch is your neighborhood garden center and nursery, where something new is always blooming. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is ready to help with everything from choosing the right plants to planting services that make your outdoor projects easy and stress-free. And remember, this special Memorial Day savings event is for one day only, so don't miss it. Visit the Gardens at Highlands Ranch at 9542 South University Boulevard in Highlands Ranch. Open Monday through Saturday 9 to 5 and Sunday 10 to 5. The Gardens at Highlands Ranch, your one-stop shop for all your gardening needs.
Don't miss the Tree Farm's Memorial Day sale. Now through Memorial Day. Save on thousands of trees, shrubs, perennials, vines, berries, and more. Now get up to 30% off all sizes of pine, spruce, fir, and upright juniper trees, including 6-year-old 5.5 to 6 foot tall Austrian pine trees. Now only $219.99 each. Now through Memorial Day. Come see.
You take I-25 to exit 235, then 5 miles west to the Tree Farm.
All right, we are back to the Garden Wise Show, and as promised, we have an extra special expert on Japanese beetles on the line right now. Good morning, John.
Hi, Keith. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. That was quite an intro.
Well, you know, you are the
sorry.
most knowledgeable person I know in the entire world, myself.
Okay, well,
about
that
Japanese
counts.
beetles.
I'll take it.
Okay, all right. So tell us. You know, we're in the latter part of May. Obviously, the adults have not emerged yet. So do we still have time to put down some grub control?
You do. Those overwintered grubs, they're chomping away. I heard you're getting a little bit of rain. It's warm enough. They're going to be very active. They love water, and they love chomping around the roots of turf and your other plants in the garden this time of year. So it's a good time. It's a good time to put down product.
And what kind of product would that be?
Well, we would prefer that you put down some Grub Gone.
All right, I thought that might be the case.
There's quite a few products that work well out there. Many of them are the chemical counterparts. We see that our products working very well out in the market. Actually, we hit a milestone this year, which was this season, which is pretty exciting for us. So we've replaced about 15 million pounds of chemical products with our products over the years now, and that's we feel pretty happy about that.
That's huge.
We know, in the market tells you about success and what's working out there, and we've had quite a bit of market adoption throughout North America, U.S., Canada as well. And we know the products are working well, including the Grub Gone, and basically you get the same type performance as the market leading product, Grub X, with a better safety profile, tox profile, and our product just happens to work better in the last half of the season as well, when you're kind of midsummer heading into fall. Than the Grub X products. So yeah, we're pretty happy about replacing these chemical products.
Well, what I love about Grub Gone and the Beetle Gone too is that it's very, very pest specific, and that you can use the Grub Gone on your turf and your flower beds and that sort of thing to control Japanese beetle grubs, but it's not going to hurt the other flora and fauna, other insects that are beneficial and that sort of thing in the soil, like the synthetic types of grub killers.
Yeah, that's right. And specific to targeting certain insects, and the secret sauce is in the protein. And without getting too wonky about it, the protein actually binds other proteins in the insect gut of the susceptible insects, and it's a very, very specific type of interaction between the protein active ingredient in our products and the proteins in the susceptible insect guts like scarab beetles. And once those proteins bind, a whole cascade of events start happening, and basically ulcers form, and the insects stop feeding and then perish within 5-10 days. And the chemical products are just more broad than that interaction biochemically or biophysic in a biological way. They're just more broad spectrum in that they actually bind a whole lot more different types of receptors, which also happen to be found in other organisms like fish, birds, and mammals. So therein lies the rub, So ours is just more specific or targeted.
And a healthy soil has a wide variety of beneficial insects in it that you want to keep, and the Grub Gone doesn't kill those insects. So
exactly.
A healthy soil means healthy plants. And then
that's right. Yeah.
And then later on, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, you don't want to kill the earthworms.
Well, or the centipedes or the roly-polies. Those are all, the earwigs, those are all very beneficial insects to have in the soil. As icky as maybe some of them seem to be, they're very, very important to the ecosystem. And
no doubt about it.
Yeah, and so Grub Gone isn't going to harm them in the least. And even though ladybugs are a beetle, this won't hurt ladybugs either, or any of the other beneficials and pollinators that we depend on, especially after the mature Japanese beetle comes out later on in June, typically. You can use the Beetle Gone, which is a spray. Grub Gone is a granule you put down with a spreader and water it in. But the Beetle Gone is a spray, a powder you mix with water, and you can spray it on the adult beetles in your vegetable garden, on your shrubs, on your roses, wherever they happen to come up and be a problem. And it's very targeted to Japanese beetles, so you don't have to worry about killing bees. You don't have to worry about killing ladybugs or lacewings. You're fine there.
Yeah, and exactly. And we say Beetle Gone's a very versatile product. Definitely, as you describe, it's a foliar spray to protect the foliage and flowers of your plants from, and any scarab beetle, including Japanese beetle. But you can also till it in your soil dry with potting soil, garden soil, obviously, or you can ground spray it on your soil to kill grubs. You can even spray it on your lawns to kill grubs as well. And a lot of folks at the end of the season, if they have a little bit of beetle gone left over, we just say, go ahead and spray it around where you may have seen the adult beetles, because if any of them survive, they'll dive pretty close to where the food and water is, where you've been keeping good care of your garden, and they'll dive down there and lay eggs, and you can hit the new larvae out of hatch with the beetle gone if you till it in or spray it. And getting back to the ladybug issue, you've heard me state in the past, we're pretty good at what we do, but we got lucky, and we were required to do tox studies on ladybugs by the EPA, and that's a smart move by them. And when we test these products, it's a very stringent testing process for any EPA regulated products, and basically you test it 500 to even 5,000 times your normal application rate out in the field to assess toxicity. And that's what we did. I mean, the dose rates we used in these studies against ladybugs was just thousands of times higher than what you would use out in the garden.
Yeah.
And zero toxicity, none at all. So
that's fantastic.
Did not have any no effect on ladybugs. Yeah, that we were really happy about that one, obviously.
Now, I would like to dispel. I'd like to have you, as the expert, help me dispel this garden myth about Japanese beetles only laying their eggs in turf, nowhere else, only in turf.
Yeah.
And that's not true.
That's not true. In fact, we're starting to see a breakout of Japanese beetles sort of north of San Francisco, Northern California. And actually a fellow we brought onto the team about 9 months ago, he has a whole lot of Japanese beetle grubs right in his garden, his garden bed. So yeah, I've seen it personally, and they go where the eating and the water is good. It's kind of like people.
Yeah,
they like to eat and they like to drink.
Roots are roots, and if there's moisture, that's a perfect situation. So it could be your perennial beds, your potted plants on the patio, your vegetable garden, your shrub beds. All of those areas are susceptible to Japanese beetle grubs if the conditions are right, and that's typically, like you said, just water.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, basically where you take care of your garden and lawn, that's where the Japanese beetle will be and lay eggs, because wherever there's good irrigation, that's the best environment for them.
So I guess with our water restrictions this year, it's going to be a little drier. Maybe we'll have fewer grubs next year.
Yeah, you may. I mean, the weather affects them, the populations, that's for sure. And hopefully you don't have any other type of grubs or beetles fly in that cause the same types of problems. Because sometimes when you have harsh weather, like out West Coast here, we have a wholly different type of beetle, and it seems to be one of the beetles, or the beetle that is a grub for two full seasons. So it chomps away for 2 seasons.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it's an interesting one, but hopefully it doesn't make its way over that way. But it's everybody get out there, and it's a good time to treat, and keep your eye out for any turf dying after it greens up, and dig up a little patch and see if you have grubs there, and treat it with Grub Gun, and hopefully you'll help take care of the problem.
All right. Well, I appreciate your call this morning, John. You have a great weekend, okay?
Yeah, you too, Keith.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Yeah, the cool thing about Grub Gun is once you put it down, it lasts for a good 2 to 4 months in the ground.
So once a season.
Once a season, if you've been treating in the past. Like John said earlier, one of the best times to treat for grubs is in the fall, late summer and fall, because that's when the adults have laid their eggs and the new grubs have hatched out. and they're tiny. They're little baby ones, so they're much, much easier to control at that point than if you wait until now and they're fully grown grubs. They'll still die, but you get a much better control percentage.
And they're closer to the surface, aren't
Yes,
they? Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you don't have to worry about if you're spraying beetle gone on adult Japanese beetles and the beetle dies and is laying there on the ground and a bird comes along or
Eats
a fox or a squirrel or a cat or whatever and eats the beetle, it's not going to harm them at all.
Yeah. And it's an amazing product.
Yeah. So I highly recommend those particular products. So looks like we're ready for another break. When we come back, we've got Carol to talk about out in Highlands, or talk to, not about, in Highlands Ranch, and a number of text messages that we've got to take care of. So stick tuned to the Garden Wise Show here on Legends 810.
This Memorial Day, make your home and garden shine with help from Wilmore Nursery. Voted Littleton's best garden center for 2025 and proudly celebrating 140 years as a locally family-owned tradition. Right now, it's the perfect time to plant, and Wilmore makes it easy with beautiful, ready-to-go pre-planted planters that add instant color to any space. Looking to save? Don't miss their stunning 10-inch hanging baskets, full, blooming, and absolutely gorgeous. On sale now for just $29.88. Regularly $49.99. With thousands to choose from, you're sure to find your favorite. Plus, brighten up your yard with 4-inch pink pot annuals, only $5.88, with fresh weekly deliveries. Wilmore also has a huge selection of drought-tolerant annuals, perennials, trees, and shrubs, perfect for Colorado living. And don't forget, citrus plants, tomato and herb plants, plus hummingbird feeders and nectar to bring your garden to life. Celebrate Memorial Day with colors, savings, and a tradition you can trust. Wilmore Nursery, 711 East County Line Road in Littleton. Open Monday through Saturday 9 to 5 and Sunday 10 to 5. Wilmore Nursery, 140 years of growing beauty in your community.
Rabbits can destroy your garden year-round, and the telltale signs of rabbit activity in your garden are distinctive tracks, pea-sized round droppings, gnaw marks 1 to 2 feet above the ground on trees and shrubs, and plant stems that look like they were sheared with a blade. Rabbit Scram by Epic Repellents trains rabbits to stay away from your garden. It quickly establishes a band of protection around your plants and gardens that won't wash off in the rain. Rabbit Scram stimulates a strong fear-based response, which works by emitting an odor that rabbits associate with dead kin, and it repels them before they nibble on plants and begin browsing through your garden. Rabbit Scram is also environmentally safe. It won't harm animals, plants, or people, and is ideal for all organic gardens. Remember, rabbits are active all season long, so stop or prevent rabbit damage in your landscape with Rabbit Scram Rabbit Repellent, America's finest granular rabbit repellent. It works so well that Epic Repellents offers a full 100% money-back guarantee. So tell those rabbits to scram with Rabbit Scram by Epic Repellents.
It's spring again, which means Plum Creek Garden Market is back with 5 locations along the Front Range, including a new location in Centennial just south of the IKEA. With over 1,000 varieties of high-quality, locally grown flowers and plants, there's nowhere better to shop if you want the best for your garden. This year, Plum Creek has also greatly expanded their selection of native perennials and grasses to help gardeners deal with water restrictions throughout the Denver metro area. Combined with the other xeric and Plant Select varieties they carry, it's easier than ever to plant a beautiful and colorful low-water garden. If you need advice or recommendations, just ask any of the local gardening experts they have on staff, who are beloved in their communities. In-the-know gardeners will snap up Plum Creek's inventory before you know it, so shop while you can in May and June. Markets are open daily in Centennial, Erie, Littleton, Greenwood Village, and Castle Rock. Visit plumcreekgardenmarket.com to learn more.
Don't miss the Tree Farm's Memorial Day sale. Now through Memorial Day. See what's on sale at thetreefarm.com. Get up to 30% off all sizes of shade trees, flowering trees, and fruit trees, including aspen, apple, cherry, maple, oak, and more. For example, 3-year-old 7 to 8 foot tall autumn blaze maple trees, only $139.99 each through Memorial Day. Come see.
I-25 to exit 235. Then 5 miles west to the Tree Farm.
Howdy ho, we're back to the show. This is the Garden Wise Show. My name is Keith Funk. I'm your host until 9 o'clock, along with Luan Akin from Tagawa's, right here beside me. And I was just going to ask you, what's going on at Tagawa's these days?
It's timed perfectly with this nice weather that we're looking at.
Isn't this great?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, my gosh.
Last time we had a really great holiday weekend.
No doubt. No doubt.
Exactly. So our annuals are on sale, 30% off. Great planting weather. And, you know, my take this past week was red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
You know, for Memorial Day and then for the 250th anniversary of the country coming up in July 4th. So the annuals are 30% off. The pre-planted containers with annuals, the pots, the bowls, and the window boxes, those are 30% off. And veggies and herbs, 30% off. Still a huge selection. We started the season with something like 150 or something tomato plants, varieties.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we still have plenty.
And your herbs, you have both traditionally grown and organically
organic
grown.
from Tammy Hartung down
Yeah.
in Canyon City. Those are very popular. This weekend only, meaning now through the end of Monday, Labor Day. I've been doing that. Memorial Day.
Yeah.
All the roses are 20% off.
And it's safe to plant roses now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
it's rose planting time.
Yeah, so there's just so much going on, and Tagawa's being the good neighbor in the community that they are. We really want to honor, you know, the military, the vets, and everybody who has worked so hard to help keep our country free.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
So get out there and see Tagawa's. It's one of those destination garden centers, and we're blessed in Colorado to have a number of destination type garden centers, which means to me that they are worth the trip, regardless of how far away you live from them in the Front Range here. And you're located at 7711 South Parker Road.
Arapahoe, just south of Arapahoe Road, off of Parker Road.
Yeah.
We have people come up from Colorado Springs
sure.
fairly regularly.
Yeah. Nix is another one.
Yeah.
We have people come out, and I'm sure you do too, from western Kansas even, to come out and shop. And there are the great garden centers up and down the Front Range. There's Wilmore, there's Jared's, Ector's, the Flower Bin up north, the Tree Farm, Gullies, Bath, Fort Collins Nursery. And I know I'm leaving some people out, and I'm sorry if I left you out, but really good garden centers, and I hope we can keep them. I've been to states where the independent is a rare thing indeed anymore. It's all gone to the box stores, and that's just sad.
Yeah. And it's in their, for the most part, family run, family businesses.
And each is unique.
Yeah. And we're going on to decades. You know, Nix and Tagawa's, and so many of them we're in second generations now.
Yeah.
Of plant
and
growers.
even third. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're not the cheapest, but they will be the best for your wide plant selection. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's see here. We had somebody call in that couldn't stay on the phone. Shelley was talking about she bought some hibiscus to attract some hummingbirds. Now, we don't know what kind of hibiscus. We don't know if it's the tropical hibiscus or the Rose of Sharon hibiscus shrub or the perennial hibiscus that you can plant in the ground that dies to the ground every year. So I'm just going to say, in general, hibiscus are hummingbird magnets. They do produce a lot of nectar. If you're trying to attract hummingbirds early, you'd want to go with the tropical hibiscus because you can buy them in flower, and they flower all summer long. It might be a little cool yet at night for them. They are a tropical, and temperatures below 60 degrees will slow them down significantly. And then we do have the Rose of Sharon, which is a hardy hibiscus shrub, a woody shrub that this doesn't die to the ground. At least it's not supposed to.
Ideally.
Yeah, and that blooms later in the summer, so you're not going to be attracting hummingbirds early in the year. And by late summer, they've already established their territories and so forth, so you may get a few hummingbirds that way, but to me, if you're going to attract hummingbirds, you need to start early. And then there's the perennial hibiscus that dies to the ground every year and produces those big dinner plate sized flowers. And again, they don't bloom until later in the summer.
Like late July.
Late July into August, because it takes them a while to grow up from the ground and get big enough to flower.
Yeah. How difficult is it in the average home, not somebody who has a basement full of lights like you do, to keep the more tropical ones over the winter?
It's not difficult at all, as long as you've got like a big south window, a bay window, someplace where it's going to get some strong sun during the winter time when you bring it in as a house plant, because those tropical ones they won't make it outside in the winter.
And would a humidifier be really helpful?
It would be helpful, but not entirely necessary.
Even in that dry winter area?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they'll continue to bloom if they have enough light and you're feeding them properly and watering properly. They may not look as good and full and bushy as they would outdoors during the summer, but what you're basically trying to do when you're wintering over a tropical, whether it's a hibiscus or a bougainvillea or whatever, is you're just trying to keep it alive and reasonably healthy until you can put it back out for the summer where it'll take off and do its thing.
Cut it back?
Later in early spring, before maybe 6 weeks before you're ready to put it outside.
But not that hard.
No.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Well, let's get out to the phones. We've got Carol on the line. Good morning, Carol.
Good morning, guys. Nice to talk with you this lovely day.
Well, you too. Sorry we kept you waiting so long. What's going on?
No problem. I saw a fairy tale bride hydrangea, and I'd not seen one before. What's your opinion of that plant?
I would treat it as an annual.
Okay, it's not to be planted in the ground because it's a hydrangea.
Well, it's a variety of hydrangea. I believe that's either a zone 6 or a zone 7. So I would not consider it a hardy outdoor hydrangea, and it does not bloom all summer long.
Okay, all right.
So it's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. I've seen some in hanging baskets that'll just knock your socks off. But don't expect it to be a long-term plant.
Okay, and it does not regrow. Okay, my hydrangeas are coming up very slowly. I just have a very small number of small leaves at the base of them. Is that what we should expect this time of the year, or I thought they would be more leafed out by now?
What kind are they?
I have a couple of paniculatas, and then I have Annabelle.
Invincibel?
Yeah, Invincibel. And then I have one of those endless summer ones.
Okay.
And they are all got all kinds, and all of them only are growing a few leaves at the bottom.
Oh, that's typically not a good sign, especially the endless summer. The Annabelles and the paniculatas, even if they only grow from the base, they'll still bloom this year. But I would give them some more time. Mine have all leafed out, except there's one variety I have called Bobo, which does have very small buds and leaves starting to show up much later than my other hydrangeas. So I think it's just the cold May that we've had, and then those two frosts knocked them back pretty hard. As far as the new growth that was coming out before those two frosts that we had and snow.
Right.
So just be patient.
How important is it to winter water those?
Well, young plants is very important, but established plants it's not not a big deal. Yeah.
Well, we did because
well done.
They're sitting close to trees, so they benefited from the tree watering.
Yes. Good.
So, all right. I have had all of my annuals and tomato plants in the house, and still are there. All the tables and kitchen countertops are covered.
I know what you're doing here. I get it.
I've been to Tagawas 3 times in the last week.
Make it a 4th, and we'll call it even.
Well, I have no more counters. I have no more space.
Folding tables.
Well, that's what we have put up. We put up folding. I have a lot of them. Anyway, I have my shelves set up out on the covered deck, and I was hoping to put them out today, but it's rather chilly out there, and I don't want to put them from a 70-degree house into a 50 or 40-degree atmosphere today. So I can still do it, but later today.
Have they? We've got 46 degrees tonight, so.
Yeah.
Maybe hold off till tomorrow. Are they winter? Are they hardened off?
No, that's what I need to do because they've been in the house.
Yeah, you could do that in a protected spot today, but just have to bring them in tonight. So it's a function of whether you want
how much work you want to go to.
Yeah.
Now, some of the
too
plants.
many.
Do you have coleus?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You can leave them out in 40-degree weather; they'll be fine. But if you have things like tomatoes or peppers, those really warm-loving plants, I would bring them in at night until our temperatures are staying above 50.
Okay. I can, if I put them out tomorrow on the shelves, I can cover them. Our shelves are right. It's a covered deck, and the shelves are right next to the house. Actually, the windows of the house, so they get some of the heat.
Oh, you'll be
from
fine
that.
then. Yeah, you'll be fine.
And I can cover them. So at night we do.
I wouldn't put them
done
into
that.
full sun right away.
No.
If they've been in the house this whole time,
Right.
You know
yeah.
what you're doing.
It's just that I do the typical 3 or 4 days to harden them off
Exactly
a few at a time.
Yeah.
What we do is we move those shelves into the sun, so as it goes over during the day, we get they're out of the sun within an hour or so where we put them. So that's what we'll be doing. I was just worried about putting out today. I'm getting anxious to need my kitchen back.
Oh, I've already planted my bananas out. I've planted my coleus out. I have a bunch of stuff underneath my deck, which is it's a walkout basement, so the deck is a full floor above, and I have tables underneath there that I've got all my annuals, except my peppers, out on underneath the deck, getting used to the weather, the wind, the humidity, the temperatures, and then I'll gradually move them into the sun.
Okay. I have begonias. I don't normally plant those. They're going in a shady area on the deck in pots. So are they pretty temperature sensitive?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, I have my weekend cut out for me.
Yes, you
it
do.
sounds like.
And isn't it a good thing?
Yeah.
On my calendar, I have 10 o'clock on Monday that I'm to go to my daughter's to help her plant.
There you go.
There you go. That'll be
I'll
fun.
get your work in.
Yeah. Yeah, she and I went to Tagalis the other day. So yay. Yeah, we're supporting the cause here.
We love that. We love that so much.
All right.
Take
all right.
care.
Thank you for your
Thanks,
information.
Carol.
Thanks for calling.
I would love to do that fairy tale thing, but it doesn't sound like it's a good thing.
I'm not going to recommend it from what all I've read and so forth from the breeders. It's more of a southern hydrangea.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You bet. Thanks for calling, Carol.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, we've got to get to a break, and we'll be right back after this quick message on the Garden Wise Show, Legends 810.
It's like the difference between soft, gentle rain and a monsoon. That's how I compare the effect of a dram rain wand on plants to the hard blast of a typical spray nozzle attachment to your garden hose. Water flows through 400 tiny holes in the dram rain wand's soft shower nozzle to bathe and refresh your plants, not damage them or wash away soil. Its handy reach handle has a 60-degree bend and conveniently extends to more distant garden rows and hanging baskets. And there's a fingertip shutoff valve. No wonder professional growers in the greenhouses and nurseries use dram watering tools. Today, there are imitators, but nothing matches the superior quality of the original, invented over 50 years ago. They're simply the best. Dram watering tools are available at Tagawa Gardens in Centennial, Nick's Garden Center in Aurora, and Jared's Garden Center in Littleton.
Spring planting time is here, and Nick's Garden Center is ready with an unbelievable selection of top quality plant material and garden accessories. Whether it's a new landscape project you're starting or just sprucing up the yard, Nick's Garden Center is a must-see. Our 10-acre garden center and landscape center is filled with trees, shrubs, perennials, annuals, herbs, roses, hanging baskets, soils, mulches, stationery, fountains, pottery, garden decor, pavers, sod, and water garden supplies. Don't forget, Nick's Garden Center is your xeriscape headquarters. We have an unbelievable selection of plants that are drought tolerant. We at Nick's Garden Center will help you create that beautiful outdoor living environment you've dreamed of. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff is always ready to assist you. For all your landscaping and garden needs, visit Nick's Garden Center, celebrating 39 years. Located 2 blocks north of Iliff on Chambers Road in Aurora. Also visit us at nicksgardencenter.com.
Soil moist granules are a non-toxic water-storing polymer product that keeps your plants hydrated twice as long. Every morning you water your hanging baskets, vegetables, and flower beds, and by evening they're dry again. Soil moist polymer crystals mix into your potting soil and encourage absorption, cutting your watering in half. They absorb water like a sponge, then slowly release it as your soil dries out. That means less watering for you and more consistent moisture at the root level, right where plants need it. Ideal for hanging baskets, planters, flower beds, and even vegetables, Soil Moist reduces transplant shock, improves soil texture, and lasts for seasons. It's non-toxic, degradable, and environmentally friendly. Just hydrate the granules before mixing them into your soil and let Soil Moist do the hard part for you. Find Soil Moist at your favorite independent garden center or learn more at soilmoist.com.
Don't miss the Tree Farm's Memorial Day sale. Now through Memorial Day, the Tree Farm has been family owned and cared for since 1980. Now get 25% off all sizes of flowering shrubs, including lilac, spirea, butterfly bush, and more. For example, 3-year-old Bloomerang dark purple lilac, now just $74.96 each. Now through Memorial Day. Come see.
You take I-25 to exit 235. Then 5 miles west to the Tree Farm.
Okay, we were talking about hydrangeas earlier, and I wanted to tell you about one that I bought this year against my better judgment.
It's pretty.
It's a pretty thing. It's called Eclipse, and it's a kind of a cherry red flower with a yellow or a white center. It's a macrophylla type, a big leaf type. So the kind that I don't usually recommend, but I bought this because it has those cherry red flowers and deep, deep dark purple foliage. And the two together, that combination is just knocked my socks off. I will treat it as though it's going to be an annual, but I will try to overwinter it in a pot. Once it loses its leaves in the fall, I'll move the pot into the garage. Okay. Where it's because macrophylla types, big leaf types will have by then it'll have set its flower buds for the next year, and so I don't want it to die back. So I'm going to give that a shot. But I just wanted to let you know that's one I've never seen before with that deep purple foliage and the red flowers. The contrast is amazing. It's called Hydrangea Eclipse. I got it at Nick's, but I'm imagining that most of the garden centers will have it.
What zone is that? Do you
It's a zone 5.
Okay, and why do you think it's risky in terms of winter?
Well, the plant itself isn't risky, but the flower buds are.
Oh,
because
I see,
it
because
presets.
It blooms. Yeah, okay.
It presets in the fall.
I gotcha.
And if we have a winter that causes the plant to die back, you lose those flower buds.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be like pruning your lilacs just before they bloom, you know. Mm-hmm. You'll lose the flower buds. You won't be able to have any flowers that year. But you'll have beautiful plants.
Yeah.
And I guess the foliage color is pretty enough without the flowers. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Hydrangea Eclipse. Next time you're in the garden center, take a look at them. Even if you're not going to buy one, it's fun to look at because they're really pretty.
Was the one you got in bloom already?
It was budded, yeah. The flowers aren't really showing much color yet, but you can see there's probably 30 or 40 flower clusters on the plant. It's just going to be stunning.
Which we know you will take a picture of and post on your website.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. And it's outside and doing great. Let's see here. We have a couple of questions here that we need to deal with. Hello, I have a question about timing for pruning of paniculata hydrangeas. Another hydrangea question to outsmart hydrangea cane borer. If I prune in December or early January, would the cut harden off by the time the borers show up so that they are not so inclined to burrow into the branch? And the conventional wisdom says, go ahead and prune at your normal time because they're not, you can seal off your cuts with either clear fingernail polish or a water-resistant glue. And that will help there as well. You can also use a soil a soil systemic, like the fertilome tree and shrub soil drench, which you would put into the soil. The plant picks it up in its root system, carries it up throughout the plant, and if the borer tries to get in, it comes in contact with the poison, and it stops before it can get in to do any damage. So that would be another way, like a twofold approach. I very seldom have seen hydrangea borer, especially here in Colorado.
Too dry?
Yeah. All right. We've got a telephone call here from John out in Denver. Good morning, John.
Yes, hi, good morning. How are you?
Excellent. What's going on with you?
Well, I've got a couple questions for you. The first one is, how long after you fertilize your flowering plants with like a bloom booster do you start seeing results? How long does that take to work?
Just usually a few weeks, as long as everything else is in proper order, like all the rest of your cultural conditions, that are getting enough sun, they're getting enough water, the temperatures are right, that sort of thing.
Okay, so a couple weeks then.
Yeah.
Okay, and then number two, I'm getting, like everybody else, tired of moving my plants in and out of the garage at night.
Uh-huh.
When can you safely put these flowering hanging baskets and things like that out? So the night weather won't affect them.
I would say once the temperatures at night are staying above 50 degrees, you'll be fine. Which I think starts tomorrow.
So it starts tomorrow, and hopefully it'll stay there.
Yeah, but keep an eye on the weather. Watch your weather report on your phone, and it'll tell you what the lows are going to be. And it looks like for the next at least week, 10 days, we're going to stay above 50 at night, starting tomorrow.
Okay. All right, very good. Well, that's all it takes. I'm an older guy, and I get tired of moving these plants in and out of the garage.
I understand. Yeah, that can be tedious.
A type of gardening workout.
Yeah, you don't have to go to the gym this week.
Well, yeah, I'm going to have to pump up, do something, that's for sure. All right, folks. Thank you much. Have a good day.
Thanks for calling. All right, let's see. We had another text message here. Is it too late to prune dogwood and lilac bushes? No, it is not too late. They're about 5 feet tall. How much do we take off? Thanks, Joan in Broomfield. Or Joanne, excuse me. The lilac's minimal. If they're only 5 feet tall, they're not that old. So I just prune a little bit to shape them. But the dogwood,
open them up a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have the older canes.
Older canes in the center, that sort of thing, that aren't blooming as well. But the dogwood bushes, I usually like to prune those. Every year, take out several of the oldest stems that have turned gray, that are no longer that nice reddish color. Take those stems to the ground. And that will encourage new growth from the base that will produce that nice red color for the winter.
Yeah. And they're not as hard. I think dogwoods are a lot easier to prune than lilacs.
Yeah, and it's not too late to do that.
Yeah.
So you can certainly do that. And the same holds true with forsythia. If you've got some old forsythia with some big woody stems, cut them down now. And they'll grow back with no problem whatsoever and bloom for you next year.
Yeah.
So
I like dogwoods. It is so pretty when the snow.
I do too.
If you get any.
Now, real quick, if you want tickets to my garden tour, the Garden Conservancy tour on the 13th of June in my yard, you can go to my website, gardenwiseguy.com, sign up for the newsletter, and you'll be automatically entered to win 2 tickets to my garden on June 13th. The Garden Conservancy, and the yard is open from 10 to 4, so it's kind of a come and go as you please.
It is a sight to see.
Oh, well, thank you. And I'll also have plants from my garden for sale during the tour as well. So if you see something you like, I probably will have it for sale.
There you go.
And I'm cheap. My prices are low. So
But you can still use it to go buy more plants.
Absolutely. Yeah. You save enough money that you can afford to go buy more plants.
Yeah, it's your garden fund.
That's my garden fund. That's exactly right. So gardenwiseguy.com. Sign up for the newsletter. You'll be entered to win tickets. Or just go and sign up for the free newsletter. I really enjoy making it, and I feel like there's a lot of good information in there.
Good stuff there.
And a lot of pictures.
Yeah, that's good for those of us who, yeah.
All right. Well, that music means we have to get out of here for this week. We're all done. I wish the show was longer, but, this is all we can do. So next Saturday, we'll be back like usual, and my guest host will be Colette from Nick's Garden Center. And in the meantime, if you want to talk to me some more, come on out to Nick's this weekend. I'll be working all weekend there. You can come out and ask me questions, and we'll have a good time. So until then, keep your shovel sharp, be careful where you dibble, and tune in next week for the Garden Wise Show here on Legends 810.
The preceding program is sponsored by JK Communications.